Hi, it's Meg, and I'm here on Parliament Hill to deliver the first of many petitions to several members of Parliament as part of my challenge for the next Great Prime Minister contest. So this is the first day I'm coming on the hill. We can see suddenly it's just started snowing, tons of snow. I'm pretty sure this could qualify as a blizzard, and everyone's busy cleaning off everything and trying to make it through all of it. And so we're now going to adventure over to the West Block to meet with Mr. Brian Murphy, who is a member of the Liberal Party, sits in the House of Commons, and he's the critic of the Democratic Reform portfolios. So follow me and we'll go deliver this to him. So I'm here with Mr. Brian Murphy, who is a member of Parliament, a member of the Liberal Party, and also the critic for Democratic Reform. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So what I came to meet with you today about is to actually present you with a petition.
Okay.
Here. It's actually a video petition created by over 40 Canadian youth from across the country, talking about how they think youth could get better involved in Canadian politics.
All right.
So there's the video component, and there's also a written component. You'll see the students also signed their own petition.
Okay.
And we've also put this all online, so other students are adding their own video comments and their ideas on how to get more people interested and involved in politics.
Oh, that's very neat. And quite a cross-section of people across Canada.
Yeah, we've got students from all over. They were here participating in the Encounters with Canada program.
Oh, yeah.
So they were here for just last week, for a week, traveling around the capital and learning more about the country and meeting people from all over.
See if there's any voters online here first. Okay, no, almost. Close in 3 cases. All politics is local, as the saying goes. The video part of it is...
We've also put it online on YouTube. So the idea is that other people can add their feedback and their comments. So while the DVD is the original petition, that's not where the idea of where it's going to stop. It's going to continue through.
I see. Well, that's very interesting. Great. It's a relatively new role for me as Democratic Reform critic, and I'm quite excited to hear varying points of view about enfranchising people across the country. We've had some issues with respect to rural voters being disenfranchised. We've had the controversial issue in respect of visual identification, or people covering their faces or not, with respect to voting. We haven't had any recent debate on the age of voting. As you know, in various provinces there are different ages of majority, 19 in my province, 18 in Ontario, but the voting age is 18, and there's been lots of debate in the past about lowering that age, and if that would make people more involved, and it's something that we should be looking at. So what brings you to be part of this contest?
Part of the contest is, I guess, just the interest in being able to debate and discuss the different ideas. But what I really wanted to do was, the contest is about presenting your one great idea to make the country better, and so in my case it was the 3 different ways I think they could get youth more involved in politics, so that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah, and what are they?
Well, I call it the 3E, but not triple E platform. So there's education, which is basically improving but also making mandatory civics and Canadian history courses, so working with the provinces for that. Yeah. Second is experience, so giving students a chance to experience the country, more funding and support for exchange programs, national exchange programs.
Like Encounters.
Exactly, or other ones that are there too, Forum for Young Canadians, or those other ones. And then the third one is what I call the empowerment one, which is actually lowering the voting age to 16. So the idea is working on education, giving them students a chance to practice it, and then actually giving them a right that they can exercise in the political process to give them a reason to want to get interested and to get involved.
Those are 3 very interesting concepts. I think it was, to be partisan for a moment, Pierre Trudeau's vision that from east to west, north to south, English, French, all that melange should take place, and I remember being part of one in 78, 79, when I was in high school, and it changed the way I thought about the country, and everybody was, but you know, it's not practical, I suppose, to have everybody. I don't know how you'd take one of your pillars, which is my 3 pillars, how you take that from an idea to reality. Do you think that I mean, not everybody, we couldn't afford it, nor would everybody want to be part of an exchange program. What are some of the micro levels that you might build on the experience aspect of your I'm starting to sound like a journalist.
Well, I think that the internet is a great way to start on those types of things. I actually work on a website that's a social networking site for Canadian teens to debate and discuss Canadian issues. So it's
That'd
a great
be
way.
Facebook, would it?
It's like Facebook, but with Canadian content.
Right.
So it's really neat because students are able to debate and discuss in that realm, which is neat if you can't actually physically go somewhere.
Sure.
I think that some varieties on whether it's class trips or other types of support for those types of exchanges. Like I don't want to say that traveling to Ottawa is the only way to understand the country, but at the same time to be able to open up more spots or to provide more funding so that it's not only families of certain incomes that are able to consider exchanges, I think is something that would be very important.
On the compulsory civics aspect, I mean, presumably that impinges on provincial authority in terms of boards of education and so on. And I must say, I mean, I have 3 children in school, and I'm a little concerned that after learning the capitals of the 10 provinces and 3 territories, there doesn't seem to be, so far anyway, it's early yet, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of emphasis on civics or history or politics, if you like. Until they get to high school, there's these, in our province, elective courses in political science, but they're not universal by any stretch, they're just for the people interested. How do you think, from the federal perspective, that we can encourage, or maybe be stronger, in getting provinces to pick up the education part of your platform?
Well, I think first of all, the one thing that works really well is the fact that the federal government obviously is the link that can bring the provincial governments together to actually come to the table and to talk, maybe share ideas on how they're doing their education, on different ways that they're running their programs, because some provinces are doing some really neat things in terms of teaching civics and history. And I certainly think that there's nothing wrong with providing financial incentives to provinces that are willing to be able to put a focus on things that are considered important by the federal government in that case. I mean, you can't force it upon them, but you can provide incentives, I'd say.
Yes, Quebec, for instance, and some other provinces would be very vehement that this is fortress province, you have no say in what we teach or what we do, so I would think that would be difficult in some circumstances, but your idea about having more First Ministers' conferences on subjects like education is a good one and should be employed. I agree with that. So that's very good. You've got some great ideas.
Thank you, and thank you very much for meeting with me here.
No problem.